Hey guys, and guess who's back? So, I understand I have been gone for, well, over a year anyway. We'll go with that. But today I am bringing back my channel. I'm not bringing back the gameplay, or at least not as heavily as I once wanted to focus on it. I now want to focus on the things I can record in between my personal gameplay and what it is I actually enjoy doing in my free time, so that way when I'm recording gameplay for here, I don't feel as though I'm ruining the fun for it myself, as I tend to get really attached to doing one family at a time, and I feel like when I was trying to do the rags to riches, I wasn't being able to really focus on myself and any other families outside of it, because that's the only thing I wanted to play was that family, and it really just wasn't working out. So in this video today I'm doing a speed build of the Tidal Tower dorm rooms in Britchester. So like right now we're focusing on like the sort of main space. I personally think that in all the dorms I always put a kitchenette, just a really small kitchen and nice hangout area. In this build I did not use CC, and I am telling you now that was probably the hardest thing I have ever done in a build, as I always use CC and I couldn't do it. I made sure that I really focused on not doing it, as I felt as though then I wouldn't be able to really be able to put it out there and make sure it's available for most people, as even though it is made with CC, it isn't the main focus. So in the build here you can see that I'm focusing on the bedroom now. This bedroom was probably changed way too many times. I was not happy with this bedroom whatsoever until pretty much the very end. I could not decide on a colour theme. I just couldn't find things that matched, and with me everything is about matching and having its set place, and everything has to be right within a home, even if it is a messy young adult's dorm room, which probably could get away with being a little bit fucked up. So as you can see here, we're just sort of going with it. We're going with the flow. That I was not happy with that. The bed didn't match the door, and that was what was really stressing me out, really. So it was sort of like, well, that's just gotta go. So couldn't change the door, not for what I wanted anyway, so the bed had to go. And as you can see now, the room actually is coming together a bit. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the worser rooms I've done in The Sims. I have definitely made other rooms I prefer a lot more. One thing I do wish is that we got more easels in white. Why does white easels just not exist? And why is it that packs come with build and buy objects that just don't go with any of the other packs? These photos, right, so I really want more arty photos, drawn out, canvassed photos for my teens' bedrooms, my little artist children, just everything like that. I feel like it works so well in builds and clutter. Clutter is everything to me, and I just felt as though I couldn't clutter this room enough. So I went for a quick tea break because I was like, this build is really stressing me out at this moment in time. I just could not get this room the way that I really wanted it to, and in the end I'd say I was happy with it, but I wasn't extremely happy with it. I feel as though that room just, it was not it. It stressed me out from the beginning I started it to the end, but the rest of the builds in this dorm I feel a lot better about, so at least we've got that going for a while. This room here, so the last bedroom was mainly for what I would presume is a young adult teen just starting her university life at Foxbury. This room here is a shared bedroom between, I believe it was 2, rather than 3 that they had in this room previously. I wasn't really, I could not figure out how I wanted to lay out the room, and I think that was my main issue with this room, but in the end I was actually really happy with how it turned out and the setup of it. I don't feel as though it has much of a assignment when it comes to who would be staying in this room, although I didn't really have people in mind when making it, as I really just didn't need a family to move in here ASAP. I hadn't really thought about who was staying in this dorm, and I think that's probably what made this design quite hard all throughout. I did do this build over probably a couple of days just to keep thinking about how I wanted it done, but nothing really came to heart, nothing came to mind, and I'd say this is probably the toughest design that I've had to do so far. Over the next couple of weeks you will see that I do a lot more building based videos and cast videos, as they're what I feel most comfortable doing. They don't take up as much energy and I don't feel draining doing them, as I love doing it so much. There was a slight clip there where you could probably see where I moved screens, but that was mainly because by the time I was doing this room it was the next day because I took a break after the other room, and by the time that took a clip I was having a tea break again. So this bedroom here, I actually really liked the layout of it and I didn't want to change up too much. I did battle with this, as I thought, well, I'd really like to change it up, but at the same time I really just loved the design of it, and I think the hardest part for me was trying to figure out what sort of colour scheme I go with. If, you know, the drawers on them are yellow and blue, but yeah, and you don't really get such a nice colours in the chairs, as much as people may disagree with that. I don't think personally they're my favourite chairs, as much as I use them all the time. Now I did struggle getting this bloody speaker to sit when I wanted it on this table, so as you can see I messed about with it a hell of a lot to try and get it centre, at least somewhat centre. I was happy in the end when I finally got there, and I decided, nah, I'm just definitely sticking with the way this room looks. I'm obsessed with the way they done it. I don't know who originally built this room, or this dorm room I should say, but I really appreciate the way that they've done this. I really felt like that, I don't know what you want to call it, that yarn set type thing had to be there. It just had to, and I don't know why, but it had to. So in this room I really picture more of the music-y, nerdy type people living in here, so I put the little red violin, and I just felt like that really signified a lot of the children that I use in Sims, as I always feel like giving them a small red or pink violin, and I don't know why, but I always do it. I then battled with what room I want to do next, whether I want to focus on the bathroom or focus on the final bedroom. In the end I did decide to go with this, and I decided that this was going to be heavily more so of a guy's room, that one of them was really into their football, or I suppose both of them were, and I'm going to call it football. I don't know what you call it, soccer, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. One of them was heavily focused on it, the other one slightly less focused on it, but they still enjoy it. They'll go out and kick a ball with you if that's what you're planning to do, but they were more so of a sort of gaming freak, and I say that word freak very lightly, as well, yeah, so this, yeah, we're gonna go with that word because I just feel like it fits the guy I had in head, and I think that that person was probably the only person I had envisioned in this storm room at all. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with that word because in my head they're just a bit of a gaming freak, and I don't have to explain that, hopefully. yeah, so in this room it's mainly heavily sort of sciencey, football-y combined, and that is really weird because, to be honest, I don't feel like you see that much in this day and age, is people from different groups hanging out as much. I feel like there's a lot of heavy socialisation on who you can actually socialise with and who you can't, and I feel like that's probably the biggest issue with society these days. But obviously got a throne a bookcase. I feel like it's not a dorm room without a bookcase, so I've always got at least like books out on the desk if I don't have what I feel is a need for it. I struggled with what rug to put in here because I felt like I needed a rug, but there just wasn't a rug. But I'm obsessed with that flooring. I don't know why. I just noticed it the other day and I was like, oh yes please, I will be putting that in every house from now on. I did decide to go with these two rugs in the end. I'm not overly keen on how they look, but, or not together, I like them separately, but yeah, we're just sort of going with that sort of vibe, because I didn't know what else to do, and I had a need to put a fish tank in here, but I couldn't figure out where to put one. So if you want to download this for yourself and you put a fish tank in it, let me know where, because I'm desperate, but I could not figure it out, and I didn't want to just sit a small bowl on top of the bookcase, because how on earth are they going to feed it? I don't know. But the bathroom, again, I didn't want to change up too much, I just want to make it a wee bit more modernised. But that really brings us to the end of this speed build. So I am back. I plan on doing a lot more videos in the future, and I hope to see you guys another time soon.